Oh,
heavy,
yeah.
wet clothes.
Yeah.
Your elbows and your fingers and arms
I come
always
home
did
and
it.
I drop myself with that extra strong mustard roll and wrap something glue around my arm. And so when you went to Denmark, when you went to Europe that time, that morning you left, you said, "Now, Mom, you promised me that you'll go see a doctor and find out what this is." And you know, that was the last time that I had that.
Oh, really?
I never did get to a doctor. That was the end of it. Of course, now it bothers me. So.
What was that? Just arthritis, rheumatism coming on? Or
No, it was arthritis.
Arthritis?
I asked Dr. Ehrenfeld, and he said, well, the way it kind of comes and goes, he thought maybe it was more bursitis than it was arthritis. But
what can you do for arthritis?
take some aspirin, that's what they tell
To
me
ease
now.
the pain. There's nothing else to keep the swelling down, right?
No.
There's nothing else you can do, huh?
Let's see your fingers.
Oh, it's just the little ones.
Let's see mine. But, and then I had this, and it gets all dark.
Yours aren't too bad, though. Beverly's hands look worse than yours, huh?
Oh, yeah,
It's
it's
really
good.
formed, huh?
Not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one.
Yeah.
But
Why
you ought
don't-
to see Ruth
Oh, really?
and her feet. You know, her ankles are just out of shape. And say, Beverly, I didn't tell you that Ruth fell down. Lydia called me again yesterday. She had talked to Ruth yesterday morning, and the day before she had fallen down in her bedroom, and well, she didn't break the collarbone, but she didn't break the shoulder, but she broke a lot of bones just kind of below the shoulder.
Oh my.
Yeah. Again.
So is she fainting when she goes down?
Well, I don't know. You know, it just kind of sounds like it might have been a stroke or something. But, you know, she had that trouble here about a month ago, you remember? That I said that she didn't know anything. She kind of passed out.
Well,
And
that's
her
right.
blood pressure was so high.
Yeah.
You know, it could have been something. The cleaning woman was there again, and she was right behind her.
Oh.
They walked through, but she said she didn't get there in time. So they rushed her down to the hospital, which is only a couple miles from them, you know. She was all bandaged up, she told her. She had just come home from the hospital yesterday morning when Lydia called me.
Boy.
So I have to call her.
Yes, you better call her this
I
weekend.
don't know,
She's having something there that's making her pass out and fall.
and Lydia had talked to Nancy for a few minutes, and Nancy said, and when these things happen, they always happen on a holiday. She said, why is that? She said, every time she has something, it happens when we have a holiday. It's either Christmas or Thanksgiving, something like that, you know. But they're good to her, you know, they did good to her. I'm sure glad that Gary has retired now. You know, she won't be alone so much.
Yes. She can't live alone out there anymore if those things are going to happen. It wouldn't be good at all. Well, I
But
sure
she
don't
said,
see anything
I
about
promised
Kennedy.
Jerry I'd live to be 100, so she said I have to keep my promise.
Oh boy.
How old is Ruth?
Huh?
How old is
You're
she?
younger than Mother.
Same age as I am right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Until I have a birthday the 11th, and I'll be 86. But she and I are both 85 right now.
You got a birthday coming up, haven't you?
Yeah.
You'll be what?
86.
86. December 11th, right? What do you want for your birthday?
Nothing. You've done enough. Goodness.
How about a new cane?
Huh?
How about a new cane?
Don't you like my cane?
Yeah, I like it. You should have brought her a cane from Ireland.
No, my cane is alright.
I brought Harlan one. He says I probably should use it. But he said I can't bring myself to do that yet.
That's a neat cane.
That didn't bother me any. When I needed it, I used it.
Yeah,
Why not?
That's a neat cane.
He's sick, you know.
Yes.
Anything that'll get you out of the house, you know, get
Wait till.
stuff
Keep
like
it from falling down or whatever.
Well, yes, you know. So,
Well,
I'm not too proud to use a cane or to lose my push card.
what do you want for your birthday?
Nothing. You've been here now, that's my birthday present.
That's true. That's a pretty good treat, isn't it, when I come here?
Well, I don't know what it would be.
I don't know what it would be. Maybe I come again and treat you again.
Well, that'd be all right. That'd be fine.
Christmas next year, huh?
Yes, you come Christmas next year. Let me see your fingers. What hurts?
This one.
Yeah,
See that?
this little one. When I bump it, it hurts. These don't hurt. That one hurts
When I
bump
bump this one. Mine is the little one, you know? But if I ever bump that, it really hurts
it.
like
Mine
crazy.
didn't start with the little one.
Oh, it didn't? Oh.
Just started. No, actually, mine started there.
Yeah.
My arthritis
I was
started
telling
there.
Diane just today with this, I was rubbing it, she says, "Summer, it hurts right there."
That's where mine started.
Is that right?
Yeah, and then
What
it was.
happens to this? This isn't swollen though, the before.
I don't know. That's where my
Did they
arthritis
swell?
started.
Well, this is swollen from rubbing.
That's the trouble with mine, you know. If I put a ring on or I put my watch on, you know, then I swell right away, you know.
This
My
is a,
fingers swell.
this is a lesson in the arthritis of the hunters.
It's the grades, I think.
Oh.
It's
I haven't
remember.
had anything in my right hand.
Remember
my
when
left hand for a long
Virgil
time.
said that Grandpa Sorensen
Mhm.
was so crippled up he could hardly move with arthritis.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what Henning said, or Gorgil was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I had a birthday card from Lily and Hurlo.
What did you?
You know,
Oh.
the doctor says that's
Long time
inherited.
ago, about a month ago,
Oh.
so they must have my birthday wrong, but I don't say anything.
Oh.
So, but I've got a, write to them now at Christmas time, I think.
Mhm.
Every day she buys me some kind of pen that's really nice for me to write with. I'm able to write with that. You know.
What did they say? Anything in the letter?
No, all she said, and she said, Merry Christmas to Vernon and Diane, and thanks for the, what, gifts, was not what she
Christmas
said.
gifts or something.
And she says, love you, also to you. And then she says, love you, and all that kind of stuff.
You can't slow it down?
Well, you can't slow it down, but yes, you've got to keep moving to keep it limbered up. I have arthritis of the lower spine,
Oh, good.
and I had that X-rayed, and I was sent to what do they call them? What's clump? Neurologist.
Mm.
You know, and they had him read the X-ray, and I was wondering if it was a slip disc, because where it hurts me then is in my hips and down my leg. And he read it, and he said it's arthritis of the lower spine. And he said, really, your bones look pretty good. And he gave me some very simple exercises to do, because he said you have to keep it limbered up. And yes, when you have arthritis, you should walk or do low impact exercises.
Mhm.
You should keep it all moving. Otherwise, you'll really get stiff.
Mhm.
But anyway, he said that's what's causing. When I stand, you know, I haven't been bad the last year, but before that, when I went to Ireland, I was in Edinburgh, Scotland, and I don't know what that's all about.
And you know, my balance has gotten so much worse this past, not just recent, last year's
The
month.
what?
My balance. Yeah.
Lightweight, you know what that? I like them when they get a welterweight or above.
That's a nice shopping places here.
Well, then they should go to House of Shoes.
That's what I told them.
You want shoes?
I know, Diane wants a pair of boots.
And look at Got Chops too.
Well, we might do that, we might just go shopping tomorrow.
House
Well,
of
you
shoes
just go
doesn't
ahead.
carry much
What
anymore.
do you do, Bob?
Oh, I'll do nothing.
What do you want, the Jeep or the Honda?
Oh, I don't care. You
I'll
don't
give you the Jeep's a little more sure-footed.
Okay.
Well, the other thing is where they're parking overnight down there in the parking lot, maybe you shouldn't give them the Honda. Someone's liable to run into you, those nuts
Oh,
down
they
there.
run into the Jeep too.
Wherever?
You know, we left it on the train.
On the train.
Or was it on the?
And
Left
it went-
train down here, didn't you?
Yeah, and it went to
Sure.
California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you finally rounded that out.
I can tell now that runs in the family. I'm getting like that too.
I've always been that way.
Yeah, but now I'm getting that way.
So what does that tell you?
You know who else is like that? It's Chris. Chris is so
Maybe
bad.
a little bit, though.
Well, I'm glad
We got it
I'm
from
not
you.
Bright as one of
They're
us.
blaming on you, Brad.
She has the good memory. I have the bad one.
What did she?
Chris is so absent-minded. I know Vern is. Mother is better than I am.
Where did it come from, Grandpa?
Don't blame. Blame Grandpa. He's not around.
Somebody back then didn't know what the time hell they were doing half the
Very
time.
big, I'll tell you that.
No, I think maybe it.
She had a memory like, you know.
I keep worrying that I'm getting Alzheimer's. To tell you the truth, I'm getting so bad. I buy all my purses now with a strap, so I can hang them around my neck as I'm so bad about laying my purse down.
They say when you can still worry about Alzheimer's, you don't have it.
Oh, I tell you. But I am terrible.
Mine isn't Alzheimer's, mine's Oldheimer's.
I'll talk to you on the phone and Mother say, well, you know, Vernon said, don't you remember him saying that? I mean, this is right after we hang up. I say, no, I don't. Or she'll say, don't you remember so-and-so? Well, no. I really got worried a couple of weeks ago when this girl called me and said, Bev, I'm returning your phone call. I am what?
What phone call?
And I still don't know why I called her. So I think what happened, can this happen? I called her last spring, left a message.
You're kidding.
Can that tape, she turned it over, did something? Because I'm sure I didn't call her a couple of weeks ago. She's not a person I call all the time, but you know, like once every 5 years. But I'm really worried when she said I'm returning your call, and I thought, huh?
Has it really been that long?
And I got to laughing, so she said, well, we were out of town. It was on the machine over the weekend. We left Thursday. I said, I'm sure, Jan, I didn't call you. But I did call her last spring. I wanted to buy a typewriter, and she teaches typing, and I wanted to ask her about what kind to buy. And I think something on her tape on her answering machine, that's the only thing I can figure out.
So the gal said, the building just went like this.
See, we don't seem to feel that stuff. But do you know, last Saturday, I was in Fayetteville Museum, and I know there's a little one. I could feel it under my feet. See, now, I've never done that up here, but I could feel it under my feet.
You felt that first one, I'll tell you.
Lisa 626DX for just $1.99 a month with $1,000.
Grandma felt the first one?
Yep, Grandma did.
Well, we got
The first earthquake.
What time we're gonna
The
have it.
first earthquake.
Oh, I was flying across the bedroom.
Let's
Over
do
into the
B&B.
corner, I didn't even know where I was
B&B
at.
sounds all right? Right over there where we had breakfast before? What time sounds good?
Right outside your Connie's house.
Oh.
Oh.
We were just driving away,
Huh.
and you made that comment.
Yeah. Well, the one the other day was what, Mother? 4.3?
4 point something. What was that for?
So, and they said, now that was an actual aftershock of the one last year. Some of these others aren't aftershocks of the one last year.
Oh.
We've had, I think they said over 100 little ones, and you know, we never felt them. They show up on,
No,
you're talking about the
big one,
original
the big one, yeah.
Have they repaired it yet?
They're in the process of doing that right now.
Millions of dollars?
Probably right.
Quite a bit.
Piece of change.
But those are new buildings. How come they weren't up to earthquake standards?
This is not supposed to be earthquake country.
Well,
You know that North Dakota is about the only state that isn't likely to have a earthquake.
Yeah. What about South Dakota? No.
I think they're more inclined than anyone.
South Dakota too?
Than we.
Oh, really?
With all those geological formations they have there and so forth. I think
Yeah. First one of the fiercest earthquakes that ever occurred in the United States was down in Missouri.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Trouble is that there were no people, no buildings.
In advance or take off a couple weeks so they'd have a couple weeks of summer. Mom would say, no, you better work. See, so I'd have to go back to school, say on Monday, so I'd work through Friday. Right, Ma?
It probably was, yeah.
Ma used to take care of my money when I was going to college. And I never did anything, so I didn't
Pushy
need
mom,
any money.
huh?
Huh?
I say pushy mom.
Used to send me $10 every once in a while, whether I needed it or not.
Just spend it all in one place, huh?
trouble was, you needed it.
Yeah. Didn't you, Ma?
Well,
Hey, I used to send money from Alaska for you. I'd send it to Grandma Craig and say, give it to Mom, so Dad wouldn't know. Well, when John's father died, which was just a few months after we married, Grandma Aper had this big bill at where? Mayo Clinic. And I don't know, he didn't have any insurance or something. He hadn't worked long enough at this place to have insurance. So when John and I got married, we were sending her money. I said, well, if we're going to send your mother money, we're going to send my mother money. She can use it to put Vern through school. I don't know how often I sent it, but
well, whenever, but it was sure come in handy. We struggled through it.
me too. And mine cost, I think my tuition for a quarter was by the time I graduated it was $150 or $200. It was really hurting.
Even
And
if-
buying my books and living at home. And I hardly made it. That's terrible.
Mine were $200-300, I think, my tuition.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
I think
That
I
was a
paid-
lot of money then.
Yeah, I think I paid $18 a month, didn't I, for that room that I
For
lived in?
that room? Yeah, I
I think
think
it
so.
was $18.
Something like that. You never see any of those people I know supposed to.
No, the only one I saw was Diane, and I saw Gordon Tigan, who was the son of old man and Mrs. Tigan. And he was a big bowler, you know, at one time. And he was at kind of a Hall of Fame dinner in Jamestown. And I went over and talked to him. He remembered me.
Really?
Yep.
Your cousin Larry Craig's a big bowler, isn't he?
Yep. There is a big bowler.
And one of those minute papers.
And what day is it? It's the day before Thanksgiving, right, Ma?
I think of what you said the other day, what you told that when you made your reservation. And she said that this was the day after Thanksgiving, said the 26th. I was trying to think, well, what would it be? When is, well, Thanksgiving's the 24th, so what day is it?
It's
The 23rd it would be.
probably Sharon's birthday today or tomorrow.
Whose?
Sharon, my sister-in-law.
Your what?
My sister-in-law's birthday.
Oh.
mom's?
No, my sister-in-law.
Oh.
It's always around Thanksgiving. Hers and my sister-in-law that passed away, their birthdays, they shared the same birthday.
Oh.
So we're at Beverly's for Thanksgiving. Beverly and John's for Thanksgiving in '94.
1994.
And
You
this
sure
is the day.
about that now?
We're not sure about anything, Ma. This is the day before Thanksgiving. We spent the day shopping in Klamath Falls and taking naps.
What's he doing?
Hmm?
Does that come on? Oh, that's that video thing.
Mhm.
Oh.
Grandma has a pretty sweater on. Where did you get that sweater?
That's the one I got from Clara, you know, when he was here the last
Yeah,
time.
that's what I thought. Did
Yeah.
someone make it, or
No, because it has a
it has a tag on it?
factory tag on it.
It's beautiful.
And what's Beverly doing?
No, no, I don't wanna be taken.
Okay,
I look terrible.
all right. Your table looks good.
No,
We'll
no.
shoot. We'll shoot your table. And John's watching TV, so we can't get him.
Go tell John to come, will you? Somebody?
Diane, go get John. We'll catch him coming out of the room. Go get him, Diane.
Way at the end of the hall and then to the left.
No, I'm gonna put the meat on. Don't take me.
Oh, okay.
Where do you go pour the wine? Or something pour the wine.
And there's John. There's the man of the house.
Our chauffeur.
John, you want some wine?
No thanks.
No wine.
don't
Well, I don't know. I just had a beer.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Burgundy,
So. I
you'll
guess
have
so.
And give Ma some wine too. She likes wine.
Yeah, she's a wine open way back.
It's not Morgan David, but Mom will bring some
I
wine.
never found a wine yet that I like.
I need one of those things you put over your arm.
We didn't buy any Morgan David, Ma.
Yes?
Shame on you. Why didn't you buy Morgan David?
Is this the way you do this?
What?
You have to have a
Yeah, that's it.
cloth over your arm. In case one spills. I don't know how to do that the right way.
So we're gonna have dinner. What are we having for dinner?
That would make good gravy. You wanna make some?
You better let me know, 'cause I'm gonna be making reservations for the leaves, but I won't do that if we're going to Denmark.
I'll go to Denmark.
Okay.
Have to.
You wanna go to Denmark with us?
Have to see the.
You know what we need to do is go to Denmark and across the bay and up to Sweden and over to Ireland. I mean, I'd have to look at a map. Is that a good route?
Sweden's over here. Ireland's over here. Got to get over there before hair love.
Well, then I'll get
Lily and-
I'll get my travel agent to. I'll get some pamphlets from her and I'll look at all this and see. She's never very enthused about Scandinavian countries.
Why's that?
She, you know, she's never going to. Every 2 years she plans a tour, but she's not going to plan one there. Although she's been there before. Oh, she said, you know, you see the scenery. That's it, because there aren't any much historical things to see or tourist things to see. You know, you're just mostly looking at the scenery, which is pretty. But
Well,
you know,
it's different for us, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it's
we
not-
gotta do that. Ma, you're gonna go, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
Ma's gonna go.
First one on the airplane.
Diane's gonna go. Diane's gonna go.
Yeah, Diane said she'd go. Diane wants to go. Ma, go.
John should go.
John, I wish you would go.
No thanks.
John, you should
Oh,
go.
but I had to say no tanks too. I don't think
No,
I'll
my
take.
tongue.
No tanks, like Grandma Craig used to say. They'll never forget that in Illinois when we took her down there. We were sitting eating at the table and somebody handed Grandma, I think the potatoes or something. And she said, no tanks. And little Margot says, no thanks, Grandma.
Yeah.
Ma, you don't wanna go along?
No, I'm afraid not.
This wouldn't be one of those bang all through Europe kind of trips. This would be just go to a few places and relax and
7 minutes before the next stop. Get on the next
Picture.
train.
I don't want my picture taken. Take John's picture.
Oh,
that won't be one of those.
Take grandma. Take grandma's.
it won't be one of those.
Oh,
Well,
Wouldn't it be fun though, Ma, if we could just transport you? Just say you're over in Denmark and then we get you there. You wouldn't have to go through all that travel and everything. Wouldn't that be fun? And then you could be sitting in Lily's dining room again, huh?
oh, that would be fun, yeah.
Talking to Lily.
Beam me down, Scotty,
It was fun.
to Denmark.
No, I think I done my traveling just in time.
Well, yeah, we said that. We better get it done before something happens.
You know when we said that?
Yeah, down in Illinois,
Christmas time.
at Kurt's house.
Yep.
Yeah.
We talked about doing it the
Well,
next
I
summer.
said, well, Grandma's still able to get around. And I was 80.
I tell you, you amazed a few people over there.
Yes.
Yeah, I know I did. That's what Nina said to me. I work in an old people's home, and she said, you don't have anything like they do.
Who said that?
Nina.
Oh, Nina. Oh, yeah. We'll have to see Nina. I like
Where
Nina.
does she live?
Just a few blocks from
Just a
where
few
Henny
blocks
is.
from
She's
Henning.
still there.
Henning said she's down in the corner from me.
Oh. And
Yeah.
Henning lives in the house.
No, they had to sell it.
Oh.
He lives in a one-bedroom apartment.
Oh, I see.
She has the kids, so the kids are not. far
Every
from
other
her.
weekend he has the kids.
I'll be darned.
I don't know. He said, I said, you know, I really feel badly about that, Henning. And he said, no, Beverly, no, that's okay. He said, I'll write to you and tell you. Well, of course, he never wrote, but I don't know what happened there.
They lived together all that time, and
Yeah.
Finally got married, and
finally got
Had
married.
another
and then
child,
Yeah.
and then they got divorced right after that.
I don't know if they're divorced, but they're separate. Or did you say they were divorced?
I don't know if he said.
Do we save our forks for the pie? Is that what we
No,
do?
we'll get clean ones.
not
You
looking
want
for you.
pie, right?
Yep.
And Carl said, this is to answer your story about Christmas. He said, yes, I always enjoyed going over to the Hunter's house. And then he said this Gene, his wife, had cancer.
Mm.
And he had been an alcoholic, and he told me he was working in like the Eagles or the Moose Lodge or American Legion or something as a bartender. So
Mm.
anyway,
Where does he live?
Reading?
Oh, he does. Oh,
Yeah.
That's just down
Well,
there. a little
just
ways.
out of Reading,
Oh.
Lewiston or Lewistown or yeah.
Okay. See, I
Anyway.
didn't know Raleigh that well. 'Cause
Yeah.
He was older than I.
But he'd come over, first went over on Christmas morning to see
Isn't that
what we got
something?
for
After
Christmas.
all those years that those families are still.
Hmm?
For all those years that the families are still in our memory, though. Like Raleigh and some of those people, huh?
Yeah, Brown.
Brown.
Glenn was your age.
Yeah. Somehow or other, I never knew Glenn that well. I don't know why.
Was that right?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, you actually played with him a lot.
I don't remember that. I don't remember
Glenn
that
and
he was.
Cecil Brown.
Yeah, well, Cecil moved into the neighborhood later, though.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't remember. I don't remember Glenn that well. I really don't.
Huh. That's funny. I always thought that'd be the one you'd remember.
No, I don't remember.
You really
Glenn
played a lot
as
with
much
him.
as the Fabushes and Smiths and Knudsen.
Well, maybe he doesn't remember Glenn because
We were too young.
the others stayed around and Glenn must have left, huh? Where did Glenn go?
No, he didn't leave until Smiths moved away from there.
Well, when
What
was
year
that?
did they move?
Well, they didn't move. They just moved to another part of town.
Okay, when would that have been?
Oh, when was it they lived there? Well, it was it was in the late 30s, in the middle 30s. You were born in 36.
Yeah.
So I suppose between 36 and 40 and
They
Early.
moved?
well, then they went to California.
Well, Vern was just little then.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, they moved to California because Lawrence and Jeanette moved to California. And when they moved to California, Jeanette took Glenn. She wanted to raise Glenn because that was her sister's child, you know. Pearl's.
Well, then,
Well, no wonder I
did
didn't
you
remember
start
that.
first grade with Glenn? Do you remember
I don't
going to
remember.
school with him?
No.
Oh, he never went to school. Glenn never went to school there.
Well, that's why Vern can't remember. You know you were together all the time, but you were so small when he moved away.
I
That's
have
why
some
you don't
pictures
remember.
of it.
Yeah, but you see, if he moved away that soon,
Yeah.
then I wasn't even in school yet
And I
when
think
he
he was,
moved away.
No?
I think he was a year older than you too,
I
wasn't he,
think
Mother?
I
I think he's a year older than Bert.
That could be, yeah.
Well, no wonder you don't remember,
Yeah.
because you were together all the time.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
He was,
It's
Right.
funny, I even remember that house then. I remember the Smiths, if they moved away in the late 30s.
you remember the house,
Oh, sure, I remember being in there, I remember what it was like, kind of, so I must have been time.
Well,
That must
Mother, Lorraine was getting married when they still lived there.
yeah.
I don't think it's that
Then they
early.
moved over northeast.
Yeah, but how old was Lorraine when she got married?
Well, she had passed school a couple of years already.
Well, okay, and Lorraine was born when?
I don't know, but her birthday is same year as Harlan's, but I don't know when she was born.
Well, like about how much older is she than? Is she older than Raleigh?
No, Raleigh is the oldest. Lorraine was the youngest.
So she'd have to be like 3 years older than Harlan, and she had to be 18 or 19 or something when she got married.
Oh, I suppose she was probably like 20 or 21.
Well,
Because she went to college a year or two.
so she was born, say, in 24, and she moved away in 44. 42, 44, so you would have been,
6, 8 years old.
yeah, yeah. And I was thinking that. I'm sure you were older. I think we have pictures of you and Glenn being older
I
than
have.
preschoolers.
Yeah, I have pictures of them. To them.
Yeah, I just don't remember him though, very much at
Yeah.
all.
He had bright red hair and freckles.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember he looked like him.
Yeah.
I just don't remember spending any time with him like I did with everyone else, the Fogwishes and...
Yeah, he moved away there sometime.
Or when Glenn and, or when Jeanette and Russell or Lawrence, they moved to California because of the war.
Mm-hmm.
Who moved into their house then?
Huh?
Who moved into their house up on the hill?
I don't think we ever knew the people, did we?
Some people by the name of Hines, and I think they bought the place.
Mm.
They might still have owned it.
Yeah, that name Hines is familiar.
Yeah. But we had moved down over the hill then.
I remember that.
Huh?
I remember moving down over the hill.
You don't remember?
I do.
Yeah. So, but by that time Smiths had already moved. And they had all moved to California.
I remember how we moved to a piece at a time.
Yeah.
Everybody
Harlan,
carried a piece when we went to school.
Did you go in, did you go into first grade when we lived up on the hill?
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember.
Yeah, I know he did.
I remember watching you kids out in the playground at playtime from our window way up on the hill. Because I was lonesome.
You
Home
might
alone.
you might even have been in the second grade.
I don't remember if I was there.
Because it seemed to me like you
He
were
was
about,
pretty small. I think you
You were-
probably were in second grade when we lived down below the hill.
because I think you were about 7 when we moved down on Western Avenue.
We're just going into first. Because I know I was going into seventh grade.
I remember that though. You took me through the house and showed it to me.
I did.
Yep, I remember that. I remember.
Well, as long as they were moving, they should have gotten a modern house. I just told Mother that recently. Should have paid a little more and gotten a modern house.
On the other side of the track, right?
On the other side of it. I don't know if we could have found one on the other side of the track. It'd be more like over by Roosevelt School, northeast. That'd be about our speed.
That house was moved, wasn't it? That was the what, the Bungan house? No,
Which house?
the greenhouse that we moved into down below the hill.
Who did it belong to?
Yeah.
Oh, it belonged to the, well, I know.
You mean that we bought there?
Yeah,
Who
who
was
we
it?
got from?
The real estate man,
Yeah, but
Foss.
Yeah, but
who
who
were the
lived in
people?
that? That house, it was down the block.
Yeah, their name was Bill.
No, it wasn't moved.
Yeah.
No, it was there when we bought it.
Well, somebody moved it. Remember, it was down the block.
Oh, that was those Jacksons.
Yeah, Jackson. It was
Yeah.
the Jackson house. The house had been moved.
They moved it over.
Over
No,
to the
no, no,
corner.
she's confused, or you are.
Mhm.
Our house we lived in had never been moved.
The one on Western Avenue?
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Until we
No.
moved it.
No,
Well, we moved it
We,
Oh, okay.
But then
Did
down,
we ever live in it when it was in that other location? No, no,
Western
you're,
Avenue?
yeah, you're wrong. You're thinking of the move over the tracks. But the house that we
that
lived,
house had never been moved. That house that we moved over the tracks had always been there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that house was over a block. And it was
Which
moved from there.
direction? Which
Towards-
direction?
towards
Towards
town.
town.
That was those Jacksons, you
Shit,
remember?
the Jacksons had their own house she's talking about.
We bought the Jackson house.
No, no.
Well, whose house did we buy?
It belonged to a real estate man, that Fawcett,
Well,
Fred.
why did they move the Jackson house in?
Well, because just about that, it was before the war. And just about that time, the city wanted to get all those houses out of there. So the first one they bought was Jackson's. They didn't buy it, they just moved it for them.
Oh.
And it was moved across the street and then down
Yeah,
north
they
there.
got a
little bit.
good place over by Lincoln School.
Yeah, over by Lincoln School.
Yeah.
And the house we lived in was always there?
It was always there until we moved it.
Oh.
And then,
I
But-
thought we
but-
bought the Jackson house.
no,
Oh.
but no, that was not, that was much nicer.
And the other people, you know, they moved where there's Schwartz.
Probably the first mistake.
You know
I
where the
made.
Schwartz lived?
Yeah, up on the hill.
Right above
That
us.
little cook car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right above us.
Right.
Well, they moved the Schwartz and they moved the Jacksons,
Oh.
and they were the only two families that got moved, and the war came up.
Then the war came on.
And then after the war, then they bought the Guardsmos and Donnie Smith's house.
and
Why did they
ours.
want to move that? Why did they buy all those?
That
Who
was a
bought it?
parking lot for the
Well,
auditorium.
that's where the auditorium went in.
Oh, but that was years later. wasn't
No, the auditorium was in the books before the war came.
it? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then,
Yeah,
of course,
that's
they-
why they started moving
and
all
then
the
they bought-
buildings up.
Because they had plans for the city civic center being
I
there.
didn't know that.
Yeah. So they had,
Because they didn't get that civic center thing off the ground until
No,
I
not
was a senior in high school.
until after we moved the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
55, something like that.
Yeah.
So it took them that long. When did we move down there?
Yeah,
Below
but the
hill?
war was only over in 45.
Yeah.
guess
When did
that-
we move down the hill? What year was it?
39, 40, 41, 42.
42?
Spring
That
of
was during the
42.
war.
Oh,
The war was just coming on,
okay.
really.
Hmm.
And that's why we weren't bought out, and that's why Schwartz's and Alice Smith and them weren't bought out.
No, they didn't get that far.
They
All they
didn't
got
get that
was
far.
Schwartz's and Jackson's.
Yeah.
And Jackson's house was moved to a nice location over there. Like, what direction is that? West of Lincoln School? Is that west?
Yeah. They would have been on 6th Street. They were just north of where Larson's lived.
Oh, sure, I remember that.
Yeah.
In fact, you know who lived in that house later, Diane?
That's
Claudette
Jackson.
Lewis.
Oh,
Claudette
really?
Lewis's family lived in the Jackson house,
Where?
Is that right?
Where?
north of Larsonville.
When, Mother?
Huh?
The Jackson, am I wrong? 6th Street? This is 6th Street, you go under the viaduct, that's Lincoln School.
Yeah.
Whatever avenue this was, Jackson's were over there
No.
someplace.
There was,
Right?
no. Like, if this was the underpass, and this was
The
6th
Larsons were here.
But you went down and you went across, that was First Avenue or First Street, which was
And
it?
then took a left.
Huh?
Yeah.
And north. You know where the Lincoln Apartments was on the
Mhm.
corner? Well then, I
Mhm.
think the Jackson house was moved right on the corner across the street from the Lincoln Apartments.
Yeah.
And it's still there.
No,
Yeah.
I disagree with you.
Where did you think it was?
That'd be across from Marcus's.
Well,
Pretty much, well, a little more than that.
Up a block.
Yeah.
Why, where did you think it was?
Well, what avenue's the one before you get to the Lincoln Apartments?
Well, it
The
would
street that went by Lincoln School,
Wouldn't be in
or
that-
avenue that went by Lincoln School, what was that called?
be First Avenue.
Yeah, it'd be close to
Okay,
First
you
Street.
go up, here's Lincoln School. You go up and you turn on the avenue that went right by Lincoln School, and they're back in theirs. They're back in there. Now that's where I think they were. Because we used to go tricks or treating, and in the back of my mind, I can even see their house setting over there.
They
was
didn't
green
even
and white.
paint, that house wasn't painted for many years after they moved it.
It
it
was
was
green
white.
and white.
Yeah, it was white with dark green trim.
Exactly.
And it stood there on the corner for many years.
Right across from Barkis's it would have to be then.
Pretty
right?
much in there, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this is Lincoln
But they
Apartments and
would've-
Barkis's were here.
But they would have been on 6th Street.
Yeah.
Barker's was on the corner. They were on First Avenue and 6th Street.
Right. And Lincoln Apartments were on First Avenue and 6th Street.
Yeah, and then Jackson's, I think, were on the next corner, right across, or maybe the second house from the Lincoln Apartments.
I don't know, maybe she's
Because
right.
I have walked by there even now, since I've been
Really?
down there the last few years.
Huh.
And I think of that every time I walk by that, because that house is still there.
Well, I can't imagine there ever being an empty lot to move that house to at that time. All those lots were taken.
Well, there must have been something there, because
I don't know. She could be right, but I think she's wrong.
The house I thought it was is when you go by Lincoln, you come under the bridge, and then you go, take that road that goes by Lincoln School on the north side and take a left and go down there. And over there was a green and white house that Claudette Lewis lived in.
And now, that's
That was
one,
the Jackson.
see, that's what I'm thinking of. You're going down South 6th Street, under the viaduct, in front of Lincoln School and turning left. Back there? Yeah, see, that's where I put the Jackson house. How does she know Claudette Lewis?
Tell us, Dan, how do you know Claudette?
Claudette Lewis was married to my cousin Frank Berry.
Was married to your cousin?
Frank Berry?
Is she still married to him?
No, they're not
You remember
married
Claudette?
anymore.
What was
Okay.
her mother's name? Don't
I
you
don't-
remember Claudette who was in my class?
Now, tell me something else. Am I confused? Is Claudette Lewis the one who lived in front of Jerry Stoner's house for a while?
Well, I don't think so.
What were their names, Mother? Those two cute little girls that lived in front of when the Stoners lived down there.
in Maratis's house?
Yeah. Who? No, not in Maratis's house. Was that was the first house they lived in, right? The house that was back. Was that Maratis's? Remember that one was back off the street? No, right at the end of Center Avenue.
Who'd they go to school with?
Center
How old
Avenue.
were they?
Right? They moved from the Maratis house to the Center Avenue
The
one.
place that they bought, you mean?
No.
Well, I don't know.
Did they live in two houses before they bought a house?
No, I think they only lived in that one. I think they lived in that house somewhere. No, they didn't either.
They lived in that white house where I babysit him. It was back off the
Yeah.
street, back in the alley.
Seems to me like,
Okay, what were the names of the two cute little girls who played with?
I don't know.
Ruth just told us a few years ago. We have a picture of them, and I said, "Who were those little girls?" I
Were they in
think
my
they were-
class?
Well, then they lived over northeast, Center Avenue. But
Claudette Lewis, excuse me.
I think they're the same little girls. Did Claudette Lewis have a sister?
Yeah, she did, a young sister.
Yeah, younger.
Claudette Lewis was Miss North Dakota.
Black
Yes.
hair?
Real
Run-
black.
runner-
Real
pretty.
dark.
Runner
Real
up.
pretty.
I'll bet you anything though, they lived in front of Ruth at first. That
Well,
Lewis,
they may have.
that Lewis name is,
They may have. Claudette Lewis, you don't remember her, huh? Or her mother, you didn't know her mother.
see, I only remember the name.
She
What
was
it-
a runner-up to Miss North
Too
Dakota a
cute.
couple of years after we graduated
I,
from high school.
I think it was like
The mother was?
54 or 56 she was
See,
runner up.
we graduated in '54, huh?
The mother was Miss.
No.
The
The
girl.
daughter.
Claudette was.
Claudette.
Oh,
I think that's the same girls.
I don't know.
Someplace we have a picture of her. And I said, it was Jerry and me and these two little girls standing on Ruth's porch. Remember that house had a porch?
Yeah.
Kind of a high porch.
She had a sister,
And I
but the
said,
sister was younger
yeah, this
than Claudette.
yeah, this one would have been younger. And they had long black curls. They were so cute. And I said to Mother, who are those girls? So one time Mother asked Ruth when she was down there or something,
Could be.
and she told you, and you know, I really think it was those Lewis girls.
Could be.
Did their mother have problems? These girls' mother had
I
problems.
didn't know their mother really.
Oh.
Do you know, Dan?
No, I don't know. What did the father do?
You know, I don't remember there being a father. I
know.
just don't recall. And there could have been. I didn't know them that well.
Yeah. But these were pretty little dark girls, black hair.
Claudette was always very
She was a beautiful
nice
girl.
gal. Very nice gal.
Well, I'll have to
Why, what's wrong with it?
It had a collar inside here.
That looks nice.
Yeah.
Didn't we get one of those, Diane? Didn't I get one?
You have one exactly like this.
Green?
Vern has one exactly like this.
Is that right? Oh. Yeah, Bear has one too. I had it on over to the shopping center one day, and then everybody said, "Oh, that's right, your name is Hunter." And then somebody else said, "Oh, your name is Hunter." Well, I never knew you by anything by else. And then one of the men there, he knows John real well, and they're real good friends, and he said, "I've never heard your name." He said, "I always heard John just call you Grandma." Take my boots
They
off.
thought you were grandma.
Yeah. So many people just call me Grandma.
Where do they get the word grandma?
Huh?
Where do they get grandma?
Well, they hear Reverend John call me Grandma.
Oh, I think.
And then they call me Grandma too. Are you taking pictures?
Yeah, I want to see your sweatshirt. Okay. Okay.
Turkey, you know, is our national bird, and today he's an excellent company with George Washington, our first president, and inspiration for the best cherry cobbler in the world.
You won't be thinking desserts, Willard. The All-American Fun continues with the Hollywood Canteen, Willard. American Movie Classics has this wonderful float in store for us today when the Glenn Miller Orchestra filled the air with a big band sound, and the silver screen was filled with beautiful stars, including our...
Turn that heat down a little bit, will you?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Take a picture.
Hmm?
I didn't know you were taking a picture.
Stand over there, Diane. And well, she wants to take a picture. Come on out here in the middle of the room. Diane, why don't you turn down the TV? And we're going, why don't you just turn it off? We're going to leave. We're going over to Beverly's.
All ready to go. It's 3 o'clock.
So go to Fred Meyer first for a few minutes.
What do we need?
Well, Beverly needs some things. She wants a couple of bananas.
Banana?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to find a whipping cream, and then she said there isn't much wine there.
Oh,
If you guys want more wine, away.
Diane wants wine.
Any thoughts? The little ones, yeah.
Whatever.
You got it.
Drink wine out of a tin cup, where that goes.
Smile, John.
There, pour it in that.
John, put some clothes on that cookie sheet, will you?
What?
Stick it down at those rows.
What are you doing, Ma?
Making gravy.
Making gravy. Turkey gravy, right? You know how to do that, Ma? Huh?
Do I know how?
Yeah?
No.
You know what you're doing?
Well, I'm pretending.
Well, were you? I was going to look at the outside. Okay. Can we see
Did you get some for yourself?
the mountain today? Oh, it's a nice day. What's the temperature today, John?
I don't know, it's right over here on the side of the
40 degrees, I think, isn't it?
36.7.
Okay. All right. It's a nice day. It's a nice day. John's strawberries patch is all covered with snow.
Anything you'd like for me to do?
All right.
Oh, they're only in there a second. Oh. Sorry, everybody.
That'll be good. You have to leave them like that now.
Oh.
We can open the door, maybe.
Open that front door if you want to, Vern.
The lighting of the Thanksgiving candle.
Good.
Now, what did I forget to put on? The stuffing's over there.
You said the salad, oh, that's on. Or the stuffing.
Here's the stuffing. And wipe this dish
I
off.
love that stuffing.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best part of that part of the whole meal, that stuffing.
I like stuffing too.
Where do you want us to sit, Ben?
Over there where you were last night.
Oh,
Where you want me
now
at?
we got it worked up.
Oh, yeah.
Right here?
Oh, you were?
Okay.
It's all here.
Yep.
Not on the other end. Oh, look very good.
How many feet do you get on one of those tapes?
I don't know what it is.
No, how many hours?
Yeah, I don't know what it takes. Like hour and 20 minutes or something. I'm not sure.
What'd you get?
Ma, if you don't like what you see here, we can always go uptown and eat somewhere. Nothing.
Now listen, you said something. What did you
I
say?
said if you don't like what you see here, we can go uptown and eat.
Well, I like what I see.
Hey, we're taking a Colonel Sanders, Grandma, if you don't like it.
Okay, that's it. Here we are. I have my wine. Oh, we have everything. Oh,
We're gonna have a toast here, huh?
Toast to the moon.
Skull.
Skull. Here we go. Mom.
Skull.
Well, I'll use my water.
Skull to
Happy
mother.
Thanksgiving and
Thank
Christmas
you.
too, Mom.
Yeah.
Happy
Skull.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you for the
Thanksgiving and
dinner.
Christmas.
Thank you for inviting us. And thank you, John. Skull.
Okay.
Come on, Diane, sit down and
Come on, baby.
And the Irish one is Salancha.
Oh, okay, that too.
You have to do that one too.
No, it isn't?
What's the
Salancha.
What's the
What
Mexican
does
one?
that mean?
Irish. That's their cheers. Go.
Okay, and just be informal. Just
Well, many years ago.
What kids?
All of you.
Oh.
Here, this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it still works.
where did you have that? Here, you mean?
Oh, I've had it for quite a few years.
You
They
got
give-
it in North Dakota or
Yeah.
Arizona?
No, they gave that to me when I was in Arizona. Or when I was in North Dakota, yeah.
You mean Harlan Clara?
All of you. Y'all went together that Christmas.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And this is the calendar. It's 1993 now, but I got a new one, but I'm not supposed to open it until my birthday. That my sister Lydia made. And she does all that work by hand. And this is a nice poinsettia that Harlan, or Vern and Diane gave me just the other day when they came. It's so pretty. And some pictures up here on the wall. The top one is my mom's church in Denmark. That's where she was baptized, confirmed, and married. And the one below that is my dad's church in Denmark. And same thing, he was baptized and confirmed in that church.
And you saw those, right?
Hmm?
You were there.
And yeah, we were there in 6 years ago. Vernon and Diane, or Vernon and Beverly took me to Europe. And Vernon took pictures and they were just snapshots. And he made them bigger and he framed them and gave them to me for Christmas. So, these plates on the wall are some that I got from Clara,
You're getting a lot of reflection.
my daughter-in-law. I think they're so pretty. And this plant here is one that Beverly and John gave me a couple weeks ago. It's a
Maybe
long,
for Thanksgiving, huh?
sort of coming kind of towards the end of its. And
Go over to her china cabinet.
Okay.
Get right in there.
Show me.
You can point to a few things.
Okay.
well, at the top here,
Are you close enough that they'll show up, Vern?
Yeah.
many of these things are old.
You want to get close so you get a good view, and that's when she tells them.
Okay.
This little basket is real carnival glass. And my oldest sister, Margaret, gave that to me when I was 15 years old.
Mm.
And these china
What year
cups,
was that?
oh my,
1923.
yeah, in 1923. And these cups up here, most of them, Grandma Craig gave me many years ago. My mom.
I remember that during Christmas and everything. That was
Yeah.
a
She
big
was-
deal for a while there. Everybody gave everybody plates and cups.
And some of these down here she has. Well, this one up in here, Tori and Kurt, Beverly's son and his wife gave me one year.
Okay.
Most of them. And these Debbie gave me one time. That was in 1976.
Mm-hmm.
What? Say what they are.
These things.
Those are
Blue candle holders.
candle
Yeah,
holders.
name what they are. Blue candle.
They're blue candle holders with Martha and George Washington on them.
Mm-hmm.
And this picture back here, I paid $1.59 for that. And I've had that for years.
Where did you buy that, Ma? Mine?
I bought that back in mine, and I bought it at Woolworths, but look
Oh.
at how pretty it is.
Mm-hmm.
I only paid $1.59 for it.
Mm.
And this Clara gave me. These little dolls, Beverly brought me from Russia. And down here, this blue bowl,
Take it out and he can get a
this
better
blue
picture of it.
candy dish, my mom gave me. You were 2 years old, so how many years would be
In 1932.
in 1932?
Mm.
My folks were still out on the farm, and my mom sent me this candy dish. At that time, it had a blue ribbon strung around there. And Harlan's son, Kim, has asked for that. So he always liked it. When they would come to my place at Christmas time, he always wanted to fill this one with candy. So he asked me one time if he could have that someday, and I said yes.
Yeah.
So that is Kim's someday.
Kim and I will fight over that, okay?
Yeah. I hope not. And this here, I cherish very much. This was given to me by my, what would he be?
Cousin's son.
No, yeah, Borghild Sorensen.
Your
My grandpa
cousin's
Sorensen.
son.
My grandpa Sorensen made that for my grandma. She chewed snooze. Can't get it open. But anyway, it's handmade.
It's a snooze box, huh?
It's a snooze box.
Okay.
In Denmark.
Yeah, in Denmark. I brought this from Denmark when Vernon and Beverly took me to Europe a couple of years ago, and we were at their home. And he gave this to me, and his wife said, he must think an awful lot of you, because I'm sure that he would just as soon part with his right arm as to give that to anybody. So she said, you have to feel real splattered because he gave it to you.
Mm.
And then someday it will be Vernon's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told you that a long time ago.
Well, I might have to fight over that.
Well, I don't know. And this little blue cup must be a good 200 years old.
Take it out. Ooh, take it out.
Where did you get that, Ma?
In an old house that Harlan and Claire lived in Ellendale,
Oh,
North
really?
Dakota.
Mm.
And there was so many pretty dishes there, and the people there just walked off and left everything.
Mhm.
And Claire, I asked Claire for that, and she gave it to me.
Hmm.
And this saucer that's back here, came from Denmark also. And
Hold it still once. Oh. Who did Grandma, somebody send that to Grandma?
no, it was Lily's.
Oh.
And
Did she
Lily
give
gave,
that to us when we were there?
Yeah, Lily gave Beverly the balance of these dishes.
Oh.
What was
okay.
left? It had been a wedding gift, a wedding present, she said, these dishes of hers. And she
okay.
gave Beverly what was left of them.
Okay.
And this here came from England. Where was Debbie at when she was over there?
London.
Or London.
Uh-huh.
Is that when she presented her paper, right?
Yeah. And that's a real antique. She
And
bought
she
it in an
brought you
antique
that from
shop.
London?
Huh?
I don't remember that.
Oh. She gave it to me, brought it back from there.
Oh.
And she said, it cost me quite a lot, Grandma, and I spent almost my last dime, and I thought, oh, well, I can just skip a few meals, and I'll take that to Grandma.
Oh.
So that will be hers someday. We'll see how faded it is on that one
Yeah.
side.
Mm-hmm. Show me. Let's see.
See?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's not as dark as the saucer is, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I think a lot of that. And there's also a plate that goes with it, but it's way back there in the corner.
You can talk. Let's just walk around the room here. Show me the room here. Okay. There's a couch, huh? That's where I sleep when I come, right, Ma?
Hmm?
That's where I sleep when I come, on the couch.
Yeah. This makes into a queen-size bed, so when
Yep.
Vernon comes, why, he sleeps on this.
Yeah. Okay,
So
let's.
I had to move the coffee table more to make room for the bed when we open it up.
Let's go in the kitchen. Let's look at the kitchen.
There's not much.
Yeah, we can walk around. I'll just go around here and show us what it's like. There's the kitchen.
About 25 years ago. So that should go to them. These plates up here, I painted them myself, and Debbie helped me some. Claire gave me plates for Mother's Day. I was in Arizona. And I painted them, and Debbie helped me.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought they were sets of 4 seasons. This apron, I always thought was so pretty. Patty gave me that a couple of years ago for Christmas. Look at how pretty it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, these plates up here, I made myself, and there's the cups. A lutefisk cup my sister Ruth gave me a few years ago. And this is from Denmark. That's the little mermaid that sits off the coast there in Denmark.
I suppose the lutefisk one has a joke on it about how we hate lutefisk or something, huh?
I suppose.
How it smells.
So,
Beverly made lutefisk a couple years ago, right, Beverly, for Christmas?
No one liked it.
well,
Okay, and here's Ma's kitchen, huh?
the rest of it's all just...
Nice and compact, though.
Hmm?
Nice and compact. Made lots of good brownies and pies in the last couple of years, didn't it, for
Yeah.
Christmas and all? Okay, this is the bedroom, huh?
This is my bedroom.
Nice view, nice window out to the
I've
snow.
always got a few plants. It doesn't seem right if we don't have a few, something growing. And
Mhm.
up here on the wall, I have pictures of my grandparents.
Go ahead.
I have pictures of my grandparents. This is Grandma and Grandpa Sorensen. That's my mother's parents. They lived in Denmark. And when we were in Europe and we were in Denmark at my cousin's house, well, he showed that to me, but it didn't look like that at the time. And I kind of owed and out about it, and he said, you can have it if you can get it home with you. And I said, well, if I can have it, I'll get it home with me. And I brought that in my bottom of my suitcase all the way from his house to mine here in Oregon. And this up here is my mother's home. She's not on the picture because this is taken in 1910, and she had left in Denmark in 1902. That's her parents out there and her sisters, and their husbands. And this one down here, that's my mom's first home in Denmark when she was just a little girl. So, and these are family pictures. This is Harlan and Claire. They live in Sun City, Arizona. And this is a picture that Alice, my youngest granddaughter, gave me. She won them. It's from the American Horse Show Association in California. And she and this gal, and she won ribbons because of her riding skills and stuff when she was there. And she sent that to me. And this is my grandson, Kurt Aper, and his wife, Tori. That's Beverly's son. They live in Chicago. And this is some more pictures. And this is one year when Beverly and John are visiting them down there in Chicago. And this is Chris. This is the other son.
That's the summer I think we were there. The Christmas we were there, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, I guess it was, yeah.
I think we took those pictures.
And this pretty candle Beverly brought me from somewhere. I don't know where.
Okay.
And over here I've got family wedding pictures. This is Beverly and John Aper. This is Vernon. This is John's brother-in-law in Harlan. He was John's best man. Bev and John and these three gals were, this one taught with Beverly up in Alaska, and these two taught with her out in Montana. And this is Harlan's oldest girl, Patricia, when she was only about 5 years old. And this is Debbie. It's his other daughter. And this is Bob and Alice. This is my youngest granddaughter again. And they just now moved to New Mexico. And this is their wedding picture. They've been married about, I think about 12 years now. You were at their wedding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it was 12 years, the 6th of October.
That's the only wedding I made, I guess, of all the
Pardon?
nieces. That's the only wedding I think I've been at of all the nieces and
Yeah,
nephews.
I suppose. Yeah.
There's an old timer.
This is Harlan and Claire's wedding picture. And this is Fred Herman's Jane Lee. She was a flower girl, and this is Fred Herman's son, Fred Jr. He was a ring bearer. And this is an old neighbor boy of ours. He was a pal of Harlan's. And
Schwartz.
this is Bud Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Roy Iverson. He was a schoolmate. And this was his real close friend, Elmer Lindstrom. And this is Clara's sister, Eleanor Trias.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't married at that time. And this is Julie Pecos. And, this is, what was that gal?
Dolores
Dolores Downing.
Downing, yeah.
She was a roommate of Clara's, and so was Julie. But they've been married now. I think it'll be 41 years now, this coming July.
Yep.
Here at home in school, a letter home by our North Dakota poet, Foley. And he wrote this to his dad. His dad still lived back in North Dakota, but he moved to California. So, and I used to recite that whole thing, and I loved it so much that I could remember every word of it.
And
And
what's
so-
the name of it?
A letter home.
Oh, okay.
So a couple years ago, Beverly was in Fargo, and you went to what, the library? She went to the library there, and she looked for it because she knew I liked it so well. And she found it, and she brought it back, and she framed it for me.
Read the first couple lines.
The first couple lines says, "I'd like to come and see you, Daddy, and perhaps I will someday. Like to come back east and visit, but I wouldn't care to stay. But for me, I always hunger for the friendship of the West. There's a wholesomeness about it that I couldn't quite explain. Once you breathe that air, you love it, and you long for it again. There's a tie that I can't dissever in the splendor of the sky. It's just home forever, and I can't just tell you why. I always thought that was so pretty.
Hmm.
And I could recite all that. I was good at that.
Hmm. And he never went back to North Dakota, huh?
He never went back to North Dakota. It was hard because once in a while when they'd make a write-up about him, they would mention that, and they kind of shoved that out because he never went back to North Dakota.
Kind of like some other people I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my new bedspread. Arlen and Clara sent me money for Christmas, and so I bought this new bedspread. That wasn't really the color I ordered. What I ordered was something that matched the rug mirror, the carpeting better. But I made the big mistake of making a second choice, and I said blue, and I didn't think they would be out already because it was a brand new catalog. So here comes the blue one. And it was too much work to send it back again. So.
Do those pictures.
Yeah. This is Beverly's high school graduation back in Minot, North Dakota in 1951.
48.
Oh, 1948. That's our high school picture. And this is my three babies. Harlan, he was about 9 months old, and Beverly was about 11, and Vernon. That was the only baby pictures I had of them. So I had those little pictures enlarged. This is a clock that Patty gave me a couple of years ago. Patty had